Can you release AI music on DistroKid? Right now I'm in the airport, so you're gonna hear some background noise and everything. I know the quality isn't the best, but I got an official statement from them, and I wanted to do a video pretty much right when I got this. You can see here that I asked them, hey DistroKid, just had a quick question for you. Are you allowed to upload music created with AI? Just wanted to see if there's any specific policy regarding AI music and AI music generators, thanks. And I got a response from Glee from DistroKid, and they said, hi there, thanks for reaching out, I'm happy to help. You may upload music containing AI-generated elements as long as those elements are not being used to impersonate another artist's likeness without their permission. This also means you cannot use an artist's name unless that artist provides written permission to do so. So basically, long story short, yes, you can officially upload AI music on DistroKid. There are two asterisks, though, I do want to say about this. One, which is kind of interesting, and I've talked about this in previous videos, so I'm going to do this as a series. Also, I've done a lot of videos about AI music, releasing music on DistroKid. So this video is obviously an intersection of both. One, I have gotten a lot of comments. Like I did a video about this, I think it was last week. I have gotten some comments of people saying, yeah, Mark, I actually released AI music and it got taken down. So one thing is, I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. Now, like I said, like I just showed you, DistroKid has stated that you can release AI music. So I'm not exactly sure what happened with those people saying that their music for no reason got taken down. Maybe it was a credit card issue, maybe it was a payment issue. Another thing like this in the email, and this has been a big thing with AI music generators, is sometimes AI music generators take pieces from other songs that of course are copyrighted and puts them together in one song. So who knows, like say if the people who have had their music taken down by DistroKid, maybe the AI music generator that they used did actually take copyrighted work from other places, somehow got detected by DistroKid or maybe another platform, and that's what happened. So that's the first thing I want to say is that, of course, I think in this day and age, not as much of a worry, but you do want to be aware that some AI music generators do take copyrighted work. They don't create it from scratch on their own. They take other copyrighted work, other pieces from other songs, and puts it together. This has been an issue with AI music generators. I will say though, like I said, in this day and age, and right now I'm filming this video, it's December of 2024, platforms like Suno and Udio are so good now that you don't have to worry as much or pretty much at all, but you are always way better off being safe than sorry, so always double check. The second thing I do want to mention, right, and I know this is going to be a bit of a can of worms, a bit of a gray area, but the second thing I want to mention is remember that DistroKid is at the mercy of other stores. What I mean is, if, let's say, right now, DistroKid is saying like, hey, you can release AI music, no issue there, as long as it's not impersonating another artist, as long as it doesn't have any copyrighted work that's not your own, go for it. DistroKid is at the mercy of what stores and services decide to do and their policies. Meaning, if, let's say, next year at a random point, Spotify comes out of nowhere and says, hey, you know what, guys? This AI music thing has gotten really popular. We know that people are releasing AI music on our platform via TuneCore or DistroKid or another music distributor. We decided no more AI music at all. The tricky thing is, even though DistroKid says, yeah, we're okay with releasing it, we're not stopping you, if Spotify or another platform comes out and says, nope, no more, your music will way more likely than not be taken down, almost inevitably. And that is one last thing I do want to mention on this video that I have said in other videos, that Spotify hasn't really given an official statement. Same with the other platforms, and I do think, like I said in a couple of the videos, there is this kind of like, I don't know if it's a cat and mouse game or chicken before the egg game where they're kind of saying like, okay, if we say yes to AI music, we're opening up the floodgates for anybody to release AI music. On the other end, if we say no to AI music, how do we police that, right? Because it is really tough to tell what songs are AI and what songs are not. We're at that point now where it's pretty much impossible, right? I've heard some human songs that actually sounded more like AI and vice versa, right? So that's what's kind of tricky. And then this brings up this whole question of would Suno and Udio ever do like a music thumbprint so that way you could detect if it's AI music or not? And I guarantee you, and I know this is a big thing right now with ChatGPT, that there are companies making programs that can detect if ChatGPT, let's say, wrote a essay, for example. Who knows, and it's probably already happening, if, let's say, companies make AI that detects if it's AI, meaning maybe there's a company that says, hey, you know what, if you put any song into our program, we can tell you if it was made by an AI music generator or not. Of course, it's getting into, and it's going a bit down the rabbit hole, but this is not that unfeasible, right? So Spotify has not really said an official statement either way. They've not said yes, which has pros and cons to that. They've not said no, which also has pros and cons to that. And that's why I do think that for a lot of these streaming services, for the most part, they're kind of keeping quiet. They're not really saying anything. Now, when it comes to DistroKid, they've not given an official statement given their Instagram or an email or like a blog post or anything like that, but this is an email or a response I got from their support team when I did contact their support team, because I was like, hey, you know what? This question's gone back and forth. Can you or can't you release music on DistroKid that's AI music? Can you use an AI music generator and release it on DistroKid? So I want to get an official statement from them. Basically, the answer is yes. But like I said, there are two things you have to worry about. One, the copyright issue of that AI generated music. And like I said, I don't think you really have to worry about that now, being honest. Of course, you want to be safe rather than sorry, but I don't think you really have to worry about it as much. The second big thing, though, is I'm very curious to see what happens with streaming services, because each one's a little bit different. For example, there have been some issues I've known when it comes to changing your artist's name. So I'm talking about changing your artist's name, a bit of a different thing, but it's very relevant, where Spotify says, yeah, if you want to take down music, re-upload it under a new artist name or a different artist name, yeah, go for it. We don't care. And if anything, this has happened to me, those streams kind of carry over a lot of the time. With Apple Music, there has been issues. Back in the day, you used to be able to, and then Apple Music then stopped doing that. Apple Music said, look, if you change your artist name or you delete that release and re-upload it under a new artist name, we're not going to allow you to do it on Apple Music. You can do it wherever else you want, because we're not them, but you can't do it on Apple Music. Then they went back to being like, hey, you know what, you can do it. Now I believe, from what I've heard for some artists, it's this kind of murky or gray area, or not murky, murky gray area where, I've heard that Apple Music has maybe started rejecting again, where they say, hey, if you delete a release or you change your artist name and try to re-upload it under a different name, we're not going to allow it. So as you can imagine, each individual streaming service has their own policies, in addition to each distribution service, like DistroKid, has their own policies. So this is just one kind of piece of the pie, or one piece of the puzzle, so to speak, of what really goes into your song being posted everywhere. And that's just one thing I do want to say, to be aware of that. I have mentioned in other videos, and I have kind of featured articles that have talked about this, that have shown, like, yeah, actually, when it comes to AI music, Spotify has found some accounts, or they're getting, like, say, hundreds of thousands of views and taking them down because they realized these were AI generated accounts. Now, one thing I do want to say, there was an article that happened, or a story that happened earlier this year with somebody who did do this, and they made like millions of dollars. But I want to stress, they were using bots to actually artificially boost their streams. And I want to say as a side note, whether you're an AI artist or not, whether you're an AI artist or a human artist, might as well say that, never buy streams on Spotify, never buy plays or listens. I know there are a lot of companies right now saying, oh, don't worry, we're foolproof. No one's going to ever figure out. Spotify won't. One of my friends, and I told her not to over and over again, said, hey, Mark, I'm just going to go with this company. They told me it's legit. It's legit. And I was like, all right. She bought streams on Spotify. Her account got taken down. Spotify is very good, right? So, and this goes for AI music or human-made music. But in that story earlier, I do want to say that using the bots got a lot of attention. But that's not what I'm talking about here per se. What I'm talking about is, even ignoring the bots, there have been a lot of cases of people releasing AI music on Spotify, these AI artists getting hundreds of thousands of streams, and for no reason at all, Spotify's been taking them down. Now, of course, it is tough to say. Like I said, Spotify has not said anything, but this is something you do want to be aware of. I know I'm talking about a lot of different things right now in this video, and it seems like I'm rambling, but I do have to drive this point home, that DistroKid is at the mercy to all these other services. So for example, if one day Apple Music came out next year and said, hey, no more AI music, even though DistroKid greenlights it, Apple Music red lights it, which means maybe you can release it everywhere but Apple Music. I don't know. And that is one thing I will say, is that the landscape of AI music, I think right now is just such a gray area. No one really knows what is okay, what is not. In addition, I know there's been a big controversy is who has the rights to it. Like Suno says you have to pay for the membership in order to have the rights to AI music, but there's been some lawyers that have come out that actually no, because technically Suno doesn't own it, and even if you have a free membership, you still actually own the rights to it. It's a whole gray area. It's a bit of a mess. But I will say, with AI music becoming so popular and so prevalent, and I think more than that, releasing AI music has become so popular and so prevalent, it's at the point now where services and distribution services and all that kind of stuff and companies kind of have to make a statement. And I can see in the future, I'm not sure when, I'm not sure how or whatever, but I can see maybe in the next year, in like say 2025, some of them coming out saying, okay, we've heard enough about this AI music thing. We can't keep quiet anymore. Here's the situation, right? So DistroKid, to sum up this whole video, yes, you got the green light. You're good. If you want to release AI music on DistroKid, you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about your account being compromised. I was a little bit worried, I'm not gonna lie, for me, because I do release music under Frachero, which is my human artist, or me as an actual artist. And then I also release music under the Infinite Lamb Chop, which is my AI artist. Bit of a tongue twister, my AI artist. The Infinite Lamb Chop is my AA artist, and that's something I just do for fun to use it as a cool example for all these videos, but it did kind of concern me, but don't have to worry about that at all anymore. One thing I do want to say though, is just because DistroKid has given the green light, just be aware, because anything could change, and if any of these stores put in these new policies or actually create and implement policies regarding AI music, DistroKid is at the mercy to what they say and what they allow. But at least right now, at the time of this video, we got the green light, and you can release AI music on DistroKid as much as you want.